everyone. I'm here today to show you guys a brand new HP laptop. This one is a brand new from the box. This particular one is an HP Model 15, but this Model 15 comes with an NVIDIA GeForce MX 110, which has 2 gigs of dedicated VRAMs. What we're gonna do, we're gonna open it up and show you guys how to replace the motherboard, repaste in case you want to, or change keyboard or whatsoever. Let's get into it. First thing first, I see from this one, the keyboard, it's a mesh keyboard, so it just pops in from the bottom side. You cannot replace it from the top side. The battery is not accessible from the bottom side, and we only have access to 3 screws right here. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the 3 screws. Once you remove the 3 screws, there should be the screws right here under these supports here. So you just have to pick them up with a guitar pick. Just lift the corner slowly, gently. It's really sticky. There's one right there. And 2. A whole bunch. Just remove this one. Make sure you don't put any dust or anything over that. Also remove the front side, as I'm sure there's gonna be more. We're gonna remove the 4 on the top side and 3 on the bottom side. Once you remove these screws right there, next you want to open the laptop in 45-degree angle. Once you have it in this position, oh, I forgot. There is this ugly screw right in the front. I don't know why they have it right there. So we have to remove this screw right in the front. They didn't even bother putting something over it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab the guitar pick and we're gonna stick it in between the top panel and the bottom panel, and we're just gonna wiggle it around. Just go do the same motion all around it. Now you can go ahead and close the lid. Hold it from the bottom side here and just pull the back side slowly and gently. Just lift up, and there we go. So there's your bottom. So there's, as we can see, there's a ventilation right there, so the air goes right through here from the middle part and just comes out from the back side of the monitor on the bottom of the monitor. So that's mostly like a MacBook Pro type, but I prefer, instead of making more holes around here, they should have made a square shape right there for the fan. But anyway, so at the bottom there's not much here. So down here we have the battery and the hard drive on this end. You can still expand it up to 1 more RAM DIMM, and it would have been nice if they left you an access for that right on top side. And even for the CD-ROM, there is an hook. There's a right here, there's a jack for the CD-ROM, and there's enough space to put the new CD-ROM if you want, because this model does not come with a CD-ROM right here. But they went and they filled up this whole space with these plastics instead of putting a plastic tray and the space, so you can actually add one, because you do have the space, you do have the connectors. So I don't know why they do this, unless you go get yourself a new bottom, the whole new bottom with the including the space for the CD-ROM tray. So that's a negative. Now we're gonna remove the hard drive right here. So in order to remove the hard drive, there's one screw. Actually, there's no screw right here. Just lift up. They just force it down on a plastic pen right there, so you have to lift out the backside and just slide it out. It comes with a Toshiba 1 terabyte hard drive. On this end, you have one extra USB port, which could have been easily been a 2 USB port, because there's one right there, and instead of putting second USB, they just put a card reader right underneath. So I guess that's okay. Let's just pop in. You don't have to do anything to it. There's no screws. Next, we're going to remove the battery. Just in order to remove the battery, you have to unscrew 3 screws at the bottom. This side, 1, 2, 3. This one supposedly have to have another one, but this port doesn't have the riser for that. There we go. Once you remove the screw, you can go ahead and just lift up the front side and slide it towards the heatsink. These are the polymer 11.4 volt, 3600 milliamp per hour. It's kind of weak battery, but it's okay for the iCore 5 8th generation. And there's you have your Wi-Fi board right here. Right now what we're going to do, we're going to remove the ribbon cable for the USB and the SD card reader, which is right here, just by lifting up this plastic flip right on 90 degrees, just pulling out the ribbon cable. If you want to pull it out, you can just go right underneath, or just unhook the screw, remove the adapter for the hard drive. We're going to do that too in a second, but let's just go ahead. Just remove the screw right there and unhook the ribbon cable and pull out the adapter. This is a SATA adapter to a, I'm guessing, a USB type. This one has a, it's like a USB 3 port, I'm guessing. Let's go ahead and pull this side out again. Next, you want to unhook the keyboard, which is this ribbon cable right there. Lift up the hook and slide out the ribbon cable. Do the same thing for the touch track right here, the cable. Just lift up and pull out. Next, we're going to remove the cable for the LCD screen. So you have to lift up the tape right there, and you're going to slide it towards the hinges. I usually pull it out from the corners. I don't pull the cable. I don't like that. You can go ahead and unhook the power jack cable from the board. Just slide it toward the power jack. Help it out with the jack. Don't pull the cable too hard. Next, we're going to disconnect the Wi-Fi board. You have to remove this hard plastic they put on top. Just lift up and then remove the screw right on the bottom. I suggest you guys get a better Wi-Fi board. This one is like a one antenna. It's kind of weak. Just if you guys want to. Right. Next, we're gonna remove the fan just by unscrewing one screw right over there. There's this cable right here. I'm not sure where this cable goes. I'm guessing it goes to a. These are the speaker cables right there. Just remove these cables right there. You can just loosen up the fan and unhook the fan. So there's your tiny fan. And the fan does have a ventilation through the keys of the keyboard a little bit. Well, it doesn't have much because the plastic right on the bottom cover just covers the whole ventilation right there. So you have a little bit of ventilation right there. Okay, next we're gonna unscrew the motherboard from the bottom plate. So one screw right in the corner, one right on this, and one right by the hinges. I'm not sure if the screws for the CPU, heatsink, and GPU holding from the bottom cover. But as soon as you lift up a little bit, you can see that it does not. It has its own risers built on the board. So you're just gonna loosen up. Well, before that, you have to actually unscrew this other screw for the hinge on this side. Because we do have to lift up the hinge a little bit in 45-degree angle in order to loosen the board underneath. So just put a screwdriver right underneath and just lift up the hinge right there. Then you can go ahead and loosen up the motherboard. So there's your motherboard right here. On the bottom side is not much. On the top side, pretty much you have your RAM. If you want to unhook your RAM, you have to pull this trigger to the side, just like that. And the RAM comes out in 45-degree angle. You have to pull it out in 45-degree angle. Putting it in the same way, and there's a crack right in the pins. You have to match the crack right on the jack. Put it in 45-degree angle and just push it down. Make sure you hear those click sounds. You're gonna put this to a side for a second. Now, this is my biggest problem with this mesh keyboard. The thing that I don't like about this mesh keyboard, if you want to change your keyboard, which you will be if you're using it a lot, this is a laptop, so you're gonna be using your keyboard. They should make your keyboard replaceable easily, but they don't. And unlike the MacBook, they are the only ones that they actually use screws to hold the mesh keyboard from the bottom. On the HP laptops and some Toshiba, they don't. They just do melt some plastic points right here. In order, if you want to remove the keyboard, you have to remove this metal cover right at the bottom. This metal cover is held up with this kind of ribbon of plastic melted. So these pins that are melted here, you have to actually break these pins one by one. They're like what, over 50, 60 pins, even more maybe. Once you free these pins, you can lift up the metal cover right at the bottom side. And then you can remove the keyboard. Now let's say that we put the new keyboard on top, and we put the metal plate on top. Now that we remove the melted pins, we don't have enough plastic here to melt it again right over on top. So that's gonna be a pain to replace. And the keyboard is not gonna sit flush with the top part, so it's gonna be like all wavy. That's a very big negative thing for me, unless you want to buy it and use it like a very external keyboard, which defeats the purpose. Anyway, so let's go back to the motherboard. In here you have the 4 screws for the CPU and 2 screws for the GPU. Let's go and unscrew this 4 by 6 screws. Once you remove the screws, you can just go ahead and lift up the heatsink. There's 2 thermal pads that are sit right over the 2 gigs VRAM chips. Each are 1 gig, so put them nicely on top. Even in the company, look how they put the thermal pads on. They just put it offset. You might want to pick it up and just put it nicely over. Now, if you want to go ahead and you can go ahead and clean up the thermal paste on this one, or just add your own thermal paste. I'm going to be using Arctic Silver 5 thermal paste. In order to remove it, I suggest you guys get like thermal paste remover. I'm going to leave in the link in the description. I'm using a different type of thermal paste remover mixed with an alcohol. Hello everyone. I'm here today to show you guys a brand new HP laptop. This one is a brand new from the box. This particular one is an HP Model 15. But this Model 15 comes with an NVIDIA GeForce MX 110, which has 2 gigs of dedicated VRAMs. And So what we're gonna do, we're gonna open it up and show you guys how to replace the motherboard, repaste in case you want to, or change keyboard or whatsoever. And this one has a iCore 5 8th generation. So let's get into it. First thing first, I see from this one, the keyboard, it's a mesh keyboard, so it just pops right there. These are flimsy springs. Like, they don't have any tension, they don't have any force. So the screws, these are supposed to push the heatsink towards the CPU. But they're doing a really lousy job of doing it. And come on guys, what is this? Is this supposed to be a spring, pushing the heatsink, comparing to some of the Alienwares or some of the PC springs that they have that you can't even bend it with your fingers, and these flimsy ones So this is what I don't like. That's why it overheats a lot, because of the poor pressure. Anyway, let's just go put the new thermal paste. Alright, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna put the 4 screws on the CPU and the 2 screws on the GPU. So let's put it back together. So grab the motherboard, make sure there's no cables right on the bottom. Put it in place, put it down, put the jack for the power jack. You can do this a little bit, left up a little bit, so make it easy for you guys. You can go ahead and close up the hinge on the corner. Slip down, you have to slide down the connector for the flex cable connector right there. Alright, next we're gonna put the 3 and 4 screws for the hinge right here. And the 2 screws on the corners. Next, we're gonna grab the USB port and the SD card reader. Plug in that one in. Run the cable nicely and gently right over there. Grab the adapter for the hard drive. Put it in place. Put the only screw that holds it. We're gonna connect the adapter cable for the hard drive. Just slide it right underneath the connectors. I have my camera on the way, so I have to flip it this way. So once you have that in there, close the lid. Same thing with the keyboard. Slide it right underneath and just close the secure lock. For the extra USB and SD card reader, same thing. And same thing goes for the mouse trackpad. Right. Next, you're gonna grab the fan and you're gonna run the audio cable right along the side. And once you got it in this position, you want to connect the fan. And the trick, you know what? Go ahead and connect the fan first. It'll make your life easier. There you go. Now somehow go ahead and twist around the cable for the audio. Make sure it goes all around the plastics here. You don't want to pinch it in between the stuff. now push it back right in the jack. Right there. Put the screw for the fan. There's only one screw in the corner. Grab your Wi-Fi board, plug in the cable for it first in there, so that's easier. Next, just slide it down like you did on the RAM, 45-degree angle. Make sure it has to start from this side. Do not put it on the second crack right there. Don't put it like that. You have to put it this way. Otherwise you're gonna burn the Wi-Fi board. Put the screw. Push the cable right here. You can put it over here. There's no harm done, so there's no CD-ROM. Anyway, once you have all this in, one last thing is the hard drive. The hard drive does not have any screws. Just slide it down in 10-degree angle. Push it down to the connectors and push down on the pin right on the plastic here. Right there. So there's your hard drive. Double check, make sure you haven't forgotten anything. Connectors for the screen, power jack, fan connector, screws for the heatsink, RAM is in place, keyboard, USB, hard drive, and the mouse pad. And also, in this side, I didn't see it until now. You can actually put an NVMe SSD hard drive in here. They do actually put this connector right here, so you can just slide it to one side. They give you an extra screw right there, so you can put an NVMe right there. Just slide it down there, and then screw it down in there. So this is a nice feature actually. They give you. I like that. It's a PCI Express, and we put a for SSD hard drive. Even it says SSD on the corner here on the board. That's one good feature that I actually like. Just because of the heatsink, I wanted to buy this laptop, and the fact the way they made the keyboard in order to be replaced. Those are biggest cons about this one. Anyway, so let's grab the top cover. Push down the I/O side in here first. Slide it down, make sure it's in place. And then you have to push down corners. Make sure you hear those click sounds. Alright, once you have all those in, you're gonna grab the screws from the bottom side, top side. Make sure you push every corner down first. That long one there in the middle. Alright, we forgot one big thing. It's this battery right over here. So you're gonna grab the battery. There's supposed to be screws here, but they didn't put the screws. They just have to slide them down underneath. So slide down the battery right there and push it there. And put the 3 screws for the battery. These are the short screws. Grab the plastic stickers right there, put it on the bottom. There we go. I hope you guys like this video. If you liked it, thumbs up. It really helps me out. And if you guys subscribe, I'll take a request from my subscribers. And if you have any question, ask them in the comments. And one biggest thing, ugliest thing I've ever seen is putting a screw right on the front curve of the laptop, just like that, with no cap, nothing over it. So this is how you do your own service and replace your parts and repaste your HP 15 laptop. Thanks for watching guys again, and I'll see you guys in my next video.